Oh, so I realized there was a bunch of lore bits that came and went without me actually acknowledging them, so this is going to be another quick lore reading. Okay, Fallen Templar, you... This is current quest. By Templar, slain by bandits, his corpse has been picked clean of everything save a note and a locket. Perhaps the locket will mean something to someone back in Lothering. Seek out Arlim. Alistair thinks that you should seek the help of Eamon Garen, the Jarl of Redcliffe. Jarl Eamon is a highly respected noble and has a great deal of influence in the Landsmeet. Alistair believes that he will certainly aid you once he learns about Lokian's betrayal. There are no kind. Gain Orzamar's aid in battling the Blight. You need to travel deep underground to the fabled dwarven city of Orzammar to earn the trust of her king and dwarven troops for your army. Beast of the nature of the beast. Gain the cooperation of the Dalish clans. The wandering Dalish elves, if brought together, are a force to be reckoned with. While they remain suspicious of outsiders, they may still honor the old Grey Warden treaties. Go to the Dalish elves and seek their help to fight the Blight. Broken Circle. Gather the mages of the circle for your army. The Circle of Magi is a group of powerful mages. If you can enlist their help, they will prove formidable against the Darkspawn's Circle Tower is situated on Lake Calenhad. Okay, that's kind of interesting, because there were Circle Mages already at Ostagar. I kind of suspect a lot of them didn't make it back. So, the question how many and how good the mages that were left behind would be. Though I suppose they might not have sent all they had if they didn't know it was an actual blight. Yes, understand the lore about the Circle of Magi is they're originally set up to train mages to fight blights. So, this is their entire purpose. Or at least their original purpose. They have a different purpose now. Lothering Imperial Highway, rest and resupply. You have arrived in Lothering and may rest and resupply here. Past the village lies the Imperial Highway, a road that leads through all of Ferelden. The highway will take you to various places you need to go: Redcliffe, the Brazilian Forest, the Circle of Magi's Tower, and the Dwarven city of Orzammar. Last will and testament you found at the cache mentioned in Rigby's last will and testament delivered to Jetta and Redcliffe to complete Rigby's last wish. And travel to Suture's Pass. Travel to Suture's Pass, where a troubled merchant waits with a deal that may just be too good to be true. Okay. Codex entries. Oh yeah, that was what I was thinking. Alright. Genlock. It's probably just about the emissaries, the most intelligent alphas, gifted sorcerers, seeing the abilities akin to blood magic. These are the emissaries. They usually only appear during a blight. The rest of this is just an addition. Ogre. Towering over their darkspawn kin, the massive ogres are a rare sight in the battlefield. Traditionally, they only appear during a blight, but some records claim that ogres have been spotted in the deep roads hunting alone or in small groups. A small group of ogres? That sounds kind of terrifying. At least one report heard by the Grey Wardens claimed that an ogre was spotted alone in the Kakari Wilds in 919 Dragon, but was weakened and easily dispatched. Up to 100 of these creatures can accompany a Darkspawn horde at any one time during a blight, often using their great strength to burst through fortifications and demolish the front lines of an opposing army. They use brute strength to charge their enemies like bulls, slam the ground with their fists to shake enemies off their feet, and hurl giant rocks into the faces of oncoming foes. Melee can be difficult against a giant that snatches a warrior up in one hand, crushing the life out of him, or beating him into oblivion with the other hand. He saw that with Kalen. The nimble can try to wiggle his way free, or an ally can attempt to an array of stunning blows on the ogre to free the comrade from danger. Grey Warden lore urges caution when slaying an ogre unless it is ensured that they have received a major wound to the head or heart. It is possible that they are lying dormant and will regenerate to full health within a matter of minutes. During a blight, most Grey Wardens recommend burning all all Darkspawn to ashes, dead ogres in particular. Items. Halberd's ages. Halberd was Mafrath's closest friend. They were children together in the same Avar clan. They fought side by side in so many battles that Mafrath dubbed him Halberd the Aegis, better to have at his side than any shield. Mafrath brought Halberd with him to meet the Defenders. It was unthinkable to stand before his enemy without his Aegis. When he understood that Mafrath was giving Andraste over to be executed, Halberd, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Adventurer's shoulders. The Adventurers struck him down, and Mafrath left him for dead. But Aegis was not so easily destroyed. Halberd lived and made his way, gravely wounded, to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. Too late, he found only ashes of prophet left to the wind and rain. When his fingers touched the ashes, his ears filled with song, and he saw a vision of Andraste. Dressed in cloth of starlight, she knelt at his side, saying, "Rise, Aegis of the Faith. Maker shall never forget you so long as I remember." His wounds healed instantly, and with new strength, Halberd gathered up Andraste's remains and carried them back safely to the lands of Omari. Okay, culture and history. What do we have? Lothering. In ancient times, Lothering was little more than a trading post that served Strigar to the south. Nowadays, it is larger, serving Redcliffe and the community of merchants and service dwarves near Orzammar. It is located on the North Road. Its location on the North Road gives it strategic value, so controlling Lothering has historically been a matter of contention between the southern Banorn and the Southreach Arling. King Calenat himself stepped in and awarded the town to Southreach in the Exalted Age, which has largely ended the feud, or at least the appearance of it. Yep, can't believe that still is a point of contention, even if the king said, "Hey, this person owns us now." Characters. Queen Honora. We have been given the gift of freedom by our forebears. Let us not squander it. The only child of the war hero Logain Mactir, Honora has never been one to stay quietly in the background. It is common knowledge that in 5 years Honora and Kaelin held the throne together. She was the one wielding the power. She is held in much higher esteem than her husband by the people of Ferelden, nobility and commoners alike, and commands the respect even of foreign nations, having once inspired Empress Celine of Orlais to declare Honora Ferelden is a solitary rose among brambles. Theron. I think this is just he fell in battle alongside Duncan at Ostagar. I think that's the only new thing about King Kaelin. Sarah Calthrian. Some of us know what honor and loyalty are. Catherine came to Logan's service the hard way. She belonged to a poor family and was out doing work on a farm when she saw a man on horseback being attacked by several bandits. She rushed to his assistance and found out belatedly that the man she saved was none other than great hero Logain. She was hardly more than a child. He took her in, offering her a position with his soldiers, and she climbed through the ranks through sheer determination. Becoming the commander of Merrick's shield, Logain's elite soldiers, was the proudest moment of her life. Interesting. Jory, the Mabari is clever enough to speak, and wise enough to know not to. Jory found his Mabari. Oh, this is about the Mabari. Not okay. Oh, forgot that I named the dog Jory. Duran found this Mabari in the camp at Ostagar. His master was killed in the wilds, and Jory fell ill from biting the Darkspawn in battle. Jory, he seems to have chosen Duran as his new master now, seeking Duran out after the battle at Ostagar and warning of an impending Darkspawn attack. Actually, it almost seemed like Jory had led the Darkspawn to him, but anyway. So this is just, again, the last paragraph. He was killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Oscar alongside King Kaelin. Curiously, I'm realizing that Duncan and Kaelin, along with the rest of the warriors there, might not have known or not. They might have died early enough in the battle that they didn't realize that Loghain actually retreated and did not do as he said he would. Okay. Arl Ermin Gwen. Nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people. As the maternal uncle, King Kaelin, Arl Eamon is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route within Orzammar. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic, King Kaelin once said of him, "My uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all." Easily forgotten. Flemeth. Yeah, would not have heard her, so this is new. Flemeth, you are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Ages ago, legends say Ban Conanbar took to wife a beautiful young woman who harbored a secret talent for magic, Flemeth of High Ever, and for a time they lived happily until the arrival of a young poet, Ozin, who captured the lady's heart with his verse. Things took a turn for the verse. They turned to the Chazen tribes for help and hid from Conabar's wrath in the wilds until word came to them that Conabar lay dying. His last wish was to see Flemeth's face one final time. The lovers returned, but it was a trap. Conabar killed Ozin and imprisoned Flemeth in the highest tower of the castle. In grief and rage, Flemeth worked a spell to summon a spirit into this world to wreak vengeance upon her husband. Vengeance she received, but not as she planned. The spirit took possession of her, turning Flemeth into an abomination. Okay, that's interesting, because my understanding of possession is that generally the host needs to be willing. But anyway, a twisted man creature, she slaughtered Conabar and all his men and fled into the wilds. For 100 years, Flemeth plotted stealing men from the Chazen to sire monstrous daughters. Horrific things that could kill a man with fear. These Kukari witches led an army of Chazen from the wilds to strike at the Elmari tribes. They were defeated by the hero Cormac, and all the witches burned, so they say, but even now the wilders whisper that Flemeth lives on in the marsh, and she and her daughters steal those men who come too near. Morgan's mother saved the last Grey Wardens from death at the top of the Tower of Ashal, but just who or what Flemeth truly is a mystery. Loghain MacTair. Understand this, I will broker no threat to this nation from you or anyone. Loghain was a farmer born during a time. Wait, I already read this. Yes, I read part of this already. During the Battle of Oscar, he fled the field, leaving King Kaelin and the Grey Wardens to die. He then returned to Denerim, and declared himself the regent to his daughter, Queen Honora, demanding that Ferelden follow him against Darkspawn, upsetting a great many of the bands. My understanding of how regents worked is that they generally only ruled in the absence of a monarch who is able to rule. And from what we could see, Queen Honora seems perfectly capable of ruling at this point, so it seems like it should be Queen Honora calling for everyone to join up to fight the Darkspawn, and Loghain just being available if she happens to be incapacitated. Morgan. Okay, it's just the second paragraph here. Her mother claims to be Flemeth. If that's true, the Morrigan might well be a powerful witch, for the tales of the daughters of Flemeth tell of twisted, monstrous women who can kill a man with fear. She was made to accompany the surviving Grey Wardens, the payment, Flemeth said, for saving their lives at the Tower of Shal. The Morrigan. I think I remember something about mythology. I think it's Celtic mythology. It's where the name Morrigan comes from, and might possibly this use of the might be accurate to what Morrigan was in that. Ban Tegan Gwerin, the Banon will not bow to you simply because you demand it. The younger brother of Alar Aemon of Redcliffe and uncle to King Caelan, Tegan holds the Banon of Rainsfair, I think that's how you say that, a tiny province of Redcliffe's squeezed between the Frostback Mountains and Lake Calenhad. Ban Tegan avoids the Denerim court except to go hunting with his nephew and rarely makes himself heard at the Landsmeet, preferring to leave politics to his brother. Notes. What do we have? Note from Sir Henrik. So many of my fellow knights have been searching for the urn. Surely one of them must have found Brother Gentili by now. Still, I hear that all is well. I must proceed as planned. Brother Gentili holds the key to finding the urn of sacred ashes. We always knew this. But I believe I now know where Brother Gentili lies. I have been to his home in Denerim and found the trail, and I am amazed that the other knights have not done likewise, unless they have? No, it is best not to get caught up in thoughts of conspiracy. Sir Donald awaits my report in Lothering. I must go to him immediately and report what I have learned. Should anyone find these ramblings, all I ask is that he be informed of my fate. I pray that he complete what I cannot. Everything that. More controls. I'm not actually going to read these. Alright. And that will do it for this lore reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day.